smaller between your calves, but above your ankles. And if that's still just not comfortable for you, you can always go thighs. But I'm trying to get you to get in that position where you end up with your ankles directly underneath your knees, and your knees are directly underneath your hip bones. Remember, hips don't mean, any girth, they mean bones. And then we're just gonna kind of shimmy the feet in as close as you can without hurting yourself or popping your ball, even though that would be your challenge. And when you do that, now your inner thighs should be strongly engaged as well as your quads. We're gonna roll the shoulders up, back and down. Let's add an inhale as we lift, exhale back and down. So we're gonna inhale to lift and exhale back and down. My camera is askew and that'll drive, well, I don't know it'll drive anyone crazy but me, probably Carol, because she's a Virgo also. All right. All right, one more time. Inhale, shoulders up, exhale back and down. Relax through the ears and the shoulder area, create space. Relax those shoulders out of your ears, but pull those abs in, ribs down. Keeping that beautiful Pilates posture, let's raise up onto those toes, hover in space, check your balance, gently down. When you come down, try not to plunk down. So we're gonna lift up on those toes and gently down. Options, you can just be here, namaskar position, arms out to the side. You could add a little bit of port de bras work here if you'd like to. But again, we're doing our best to not land on the heels heavily. Good morning, Roseanne. Lifting and lowering, and lifting and lowering. Good. Couple more times here. Oops. Try to keep your balance. Last time, come up. See if you can hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come on down. All right, from there, lift up just your toes, not rock back onto your heels, but just lift your toes and put them down. Lift them and put them down. As you lift them, I want you to see if you can spread them out. Lift and spread, lift and spread, lift and spread. So just working through those feet a little bit. This helps. I don't know if any of you, as you get more mature, have toes that are starting to curl a little bit. We want to work those muscles that extend and lift them and straighten them out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to roll up on those toes. Come down. What are you doing me on balance? Lift those toes. Come up on the toes. Come down. Lift the toes. Up, down, toes. Up, down, toes. Up, down. I'm saying toes, not toads. Toads don't glow. Maybe they do. Couple more here. Last 2. Last 1. All right. So now we're going to bring that ball between our thighs, but we're also going to need a little space on a wall. So hopefully you have some place, even if you go off camera, it's going to be a wall sit, so you're going to know what I'm doing. You're going to find, you're going to find that place. If you can come all the way down to 90, knees and hips even, that's fine. If you can't, if you have some knee issues, then maybe 45. But then bring that ball between your quads and then lengthen out through the top side of your spine, right? So lengthen tall, and then try to lift the toes and stretch them out so you've got a little more weight in the heels, and then squeeze the ball. Hold it as tightly as you can for 30. We're doing 30 seconds. I'm not going to count 30 down. We've been there for a while. Squeeze a little bit more. Relax the squeeze. Hold, and we're going to squeeze again. I didn't freeze. Almost there. Relax that squeeze. Remember, we're leaving our toes up in the air. Let's do 2 more times. Squeeze in and hold. Squeeze a little harder if you can. Relax that squeeze. And on this last one, we're going to pulse those 30. So squeeze in, squeeze in. Squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze. Toes up. Getting there. Squeeze in, try not to open too far, just squeeze in. 3, 2, 1. You can use your hands, come on up. I think I have dust on me. All right, so that should have warmed up our calves, inner thighs. We're gonna do just a tiny bit of quad work. So we're gonna sit on that ball to do that. You guys know when we have access to those balls, we like to use that to challenge our balance. So sit up, you're gonna bend your left leg and you can let it be off to the side to have a little bit wider base of support. Straighten out the right leg. And right now, my leg is right on top of that other ankle, which is giving me a little assist. Just point and flex and point and flex, and then lift that leg off the ground, flex through the heel, tighten your quad. We're holding this one for 4, 3, 2, lift one more inch, point it, flex it, hold it, 4, 3, 2, down, point it, flex it, lift it, hold it, flex through the quad for 4, 3, 2, and 1, lift another inch and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1, bring it down. Point it, bring it up, flex through the heel, lift it, hold it. Good, lift another inch and hold. And bring it down and point. Last round, a little bit different this time. We lift it up, we flex it, we point it, we lift it, flex it, point it, we lift it, flex it, point it, we go down, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. Hopefully that got your quad activated. We're going to roll off the ball to stretch that quad by bringing that knee behind the hip, right? So we don't want to be here. Stretch that quad out. Flex that back leg. You can use this ball for support or not. Arm up overhead, maybe open to the back of the room, come back through center, and then close that gap. Bring your rib and hip closer together and press it up. Stay how you are. Sit really tall, and you may even get a little extra stretch through there. And then let's bring that back around, and we're gonna sit on that ball again. This time, our right leg will be off to the side to give us a little bit of extra balance. Left leg is open. Point it, flex it, point it, lift it off the ground, flex, hold it. 4, 3, 2, and 1, lift an inch and hold, tighten that quad. 4, 3, 2, and 1, bring it down, point your toe, flex it, lift it, hold. Lift another inch, hold. Bring it down, point it, back, flex it, lift it, hold it. Lift an inch, hold. Bring it down, point it. One more like that, lift it up, flex it, hold it. Lift it. Bring it down, point it, and then this time we bring it up, we're gonna flex and point as we lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it. We're gonna flex and point as we lower, 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 down. All right, off that ball. Knee goes behind your hip, flex through that heel, ball for support if you want, lean up over on it, left arm up overhead, open to the back, rotate to the front, tuck that rib and hip a little closer, and then sit up as tall as you can, maybe even push through that right arm to straighten your spine and get that nice stretch. Okay, beautiful. All right, so now as we come down, we've used that inner thigh a couple times, and we'll be back to that, don't worry. But for now, just bring the ball behind your calves and stretch out your low back by curling the tailbone up and then flattening it down. And you can bend your elbows to bring the knees closer and then press them away. And then 2 more times, bend and press away. Get those knees directly over your hips and come to tabletop. Take the ball up against your right thigh and press as hard as you can, pushing the hands against the ball and the ball against the thigh against the ball and the ball against the hands. There's no movement. When you're ready, exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Feel your abs working. If you would like to, extend your left leg straight up in the air and then reach it no more than 45 degrees. And while we're here, we're gonna press. So as I push against the ball, my left leg reaches a little extra, but I'm trying not to bring my right knee in. So press and press. Hey, we have a toy over here for you, girl. and press, and press, and press, and press. Keep pushing, and 3, and 2, and 1, both knees stacked, ball to your left leg. Maybe switch which hand was on top. Press the hands against the ball, ball against the thigh, thigh against the ball, ball against the hands. Lift up. Feel free to, if you want to, straighten your right leg, reach through those right toes, press against the ball, and then we'll press and reach, 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 press, reach, and relax. And once again, we're going to hug that ball behind our knees. This time, a couple little circles. That, of course, was our single leg stretch with bonus love. All right, let's bring that ball up between our ankles now. Knees are bent for now. Knees are about hip width distance apart, hands by your side. Deep breath in. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulders float off the ground. Hands travel, and then we're going to straighten out the legs. You may want to turn your toes out and then lift the arms overhead for double leg stretch. You're going to bend, feet come together, knees go slightly apart, and then we inhale to reach. So we're going to exhale to bend and lift, and we're going to inhale to reach. We're going to exhale to bend and lift, and we're going to inhale to reach. Abs drawn in, folding and extending, folding and extending. Couple more, fold and extend. Last time, fold, extend, hold here. Bring your fingertips to the edges of your skull for support, or bring your head down and pulse the ball. Pulse, 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 reach, reach, squeeze, squeeze. Either support your head or bring it down. If you bring it down, you can bring your arms out. Press 3, 2, 1, bring that down. Take that ball and bring it on top of your ankles now. Widen your elbows, bring your forehead towards your knees, and we're rolling like a ball. Exhaling to roll, inhaling to pause. Exhaling to roll, inhaling to pause. And next time you come up, stay up. If you didn't make it up, just roll over. Bring that ball onto the mat, sit up on it so that your hips are higher than your feet. And if you can straighten your legs without rounding into your spine, feel free. Otherwise, knees are bent. And we're going to shift our weight forward so the ball kind of creates a little wedge here, not wedgie, and then begin to straighten the legs. So you come into a beautiful spine stretch. And with that ball helping to assist that little tip in my hips, I might be able to come a little farther, again, without rounding into those vertebrae. And you can pull yourself forward. Just make sure you're not tucking your hips under, reaching and holding. And then gently lift that up. All right. Now just scoot far enough forward that that ball comes behind your sacrum for a little bit of support here. All right. Square up your knees, square up your feet, all 10 toes on the ground. Hinge back against that ball, but don't round over it, right? So that should give you some nice support for this version of roll down. Open your arms into a T and tap your knees. Open and close. So isometric contraction in the abs right now, right? So maybe you could hinge back a little more, but it's not lifting over the ball, it's pressing into the ball. So see if you could make your ribs disappear even more. And now, if you want a little more challenge, the arms go up into a V and then tap down. Keep reminding yourself to pull the ribs in. Good. And now, keep those ribs in. If you went from a T to a V and you want that last challenge, arms go overhead, but you don't let those ribs pop up nor the spine round. So you may have to come up a little bit, but if you don't want to do that, go back to the V. Find which one of these works best for you, please. And then we're going to grab hold of those thighs. We're going to round into the ball for a minute, and then we're going to pull ourselves up, nice seated position. So that was that roll down. with some support. And now we're just going to add some movement to that roll down. Exhale, hinge back, rotate towards me, back to center, roll up just a few degrees, keep the ball there. Exhale, hinge back, rotate to the back, inhale, center, exhale, up, back, open, center, up. And just keep the breathing going. I think I started you guys the wrong way. Just be cautious about rounding too much into the spine. Use that ball for support. Don't forget the lift and lower in the center. But his body's gonna get you. And relax. Now we're going to sit up on that ball one more time. But this time we're going to cross our legs comfortably. Just notice which ankle is in back. Walk your hands forward with that support from the ball. And then just glide forward and relax the whole body into that C-shaped curve. And we're going to sit up. We're going to uncross the legs, the ankles, and recross them the other way. We're going to slide forward. And then relax. So you may find that your hips go askew, and that's okay. We're just getting, one side stretching out a little more than the other each time. And then we're going to press up and roll over. And we're coming over onto our side. As always, for a side plank, you can give yourself a little extra fold of that mat to come underneath your elbow. Push the shoulder back, lift up out of it, engage those lats and create space between the ribs and shoulders. You'll have the option, of course, to be on the sides of your thighs, toes up, wide straddle, close straddle, or stack. I think all of you know this, so come on up into your favorite side plank and then put the ball where it's barely touching some part of your body. Then you're gonna indent the ball and come off of it. A little indentation and a lift. So be really careful as you do this, not to make it a squish and then a pop up. It's a dip and lift, dip and lift, dip and lift. And then we'll pull that out from under us. We'll take a little break. So we're going to do the balance with the ball on our feet now. If you know that doesn't work for you, stick with what we just did. If you want to try the balance, you put your bottom and back leg on first. Top leg goes in front where you created all that space on the ball. And then you lift yourself up in that side plank and then try to lift that top arm. Keep that bottom hip lifting. Keep reaching towards the sky. And gently come down. All right. And as you come down, we're going to stay on this side. I'll do my best to remember all this on the other side. I'm going to put the ball down so that your bottom leg is on the ball about shin to ankle, right? Not foot. And then we're going to lie with both legs stacked. So I have that ball a little closer to my knee than usual. Lift that waistline off the ground, right? And spine is in a long straight line. And then I want you to push down on the ball with the bottom leg and lift the top leg and then bring them both together. Press. So it's as if I have a band there, right? And pressing out on the band with both legs. Both legs are flexed. Both quads are slightly engaged. Top hip should feel this, but so should the bottom hip. So I press down on the ball as I lift that top leg. Press down on the ball and lift the top leg. Press down and lift. Press down and lift. Good. 2 more times. And hold that open. And then relax both knees. We're going to come, what are you doing? We're going to come over onto, excuse me. We're going to come over onto our abs. I promise I will do my best to remember all of that on the other side. We're going to roll over onto our abs. We're going to bring that ball out in front of us. Toes are down, toenail side down, right? Kneecaps are lifted, quads are engaged. Feet can be touching or hip distance apart or even mat distance apart. Square your hips, bring that ball in front of you, press your hands down and push into the ball to lift just the back of your upper back, right? So between the shoulder blades. Then squeeze those shoulder blades down your spine so your shoulders come out of your ears. You're lifted up in a little bit of a cobra position, but I want this mostly a curl in your upper back than your lower. And then relax down. Deep breath in, press down with your hands, squeeze back, lift up, hold for a moment, and then come back down. Deep breath in, exhale, press, inhale, squeeze, hold at the top, and exhale down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, press, squeeze, lift, and down. 2 more. Press, lift, squeeze, and down. Last time. Press down, lift it up, squeeze it, hold here, push your toes into the ground with those kneecaps, and then relax, and we'll press back in our resting position. So hips sit back on our heels. And then as you come forward, you're going to put that ball in the center of your mat where your belly button ends up. Elbows are wide, right underneath your shoulders. Hands are rotated up, thumbs to the sky. Deep breath in, exhale, pull your collarbone back. And then we're just going to gently start lifting off that ball. And you roll that into whichever version of front plank you want to do. And then you just have awareness of the ball. Maybe it's your belly button, maybe it's your ribs. You could even try rolling that ball forward and back if you're up on your toes, but keeping that nice control, not squishing your ball. And relax. And we'll bring that ball out of the waist. Windshield wiper your legs. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are such a troublemaker. Play with that instead, please. All right. So that was our first plank, and you are welcome to go back to that one, or if you want to try the balance, that ball goes either underneath your ankles, or you could even try it underneath the fronts of your toes. I'd suggest you not tuck your toes. Elbows under your shoulders, lift up in your plank. Once you're there, you have the option to hold it, or you could try a little hike by dropping your head and lifting your hips, but then park that plank and hold it. And then we will relax and press back again in that resting position. All right. Do you remember which side you were on a minute ago? We're going to start with the leg work, right? So you're going to lie down, and that ball is going to be underneath your bottom ankle or shin, right? So it's a little farther up. Long straight line in your body, flex through both legs, push down with the top or down with the bottom leg against the wall as you lift the top leg. So we press apart and squeeze together. Press apart and squeeze together. Keep that going, pushing and squeezing. Good. 2 more times. And relax. All right, let's bring that ball for that side plank. So we're gonna bring that elbow under the shoulder, push the shoulder back, use those lats, space between the ears and shoulders, and then you decide which kind of side plank you want to do. You put the ball where it's barely touching you and you squeeze and lift. And then gently bring that down. You have the option to repeat that or just a regular side plank. Or if you want to do that balance, you always put the bottom leg on first, create some space for that top leg. Find that, lift yourself up, and then straighten out once you get there. And gently down. Did I do everything on that side? Yes, no? I think I see a thumbs up. Okay. All right. So now we are rolling back over onto our spine. We're going to set that ball in the center of our belly button for a moment, and then try to contract and create a valley in those abs. Now, if that makes your chin tip up, do me a favor and round your mat a couple times so that you can nod yes with your chin. If you can't create that valley, move that ball to your ribs, and then again, exhale, sink them down so that ball will stay stable. When you're ready, whether that ball is on your ribs or your abs, you're going to stack those legs tabletop. Good. So just this should give, if you're not talking, should give you that awareness of keeping those abs hollowed out and just holding. For a little more challenge, you go into your toe touch, single leg, or heel tap, or double leg heel tap. And of course, you can do wide knees. Two more. And then we're all going to take the ball and put it between our knees. So now we're going to be in that double leg, but we're going to lower both legs to your challenge position, but no farther. Squeeze the ball, hold for 8, 6, 4, 2, slowly come up. We're doing that again. Lower and hold for 6, 4, 2, and slowly up. Lower and hold, squeeze for 4, 2, and 1. And one more time, lower, squeeze and hold for 2 and 1, and bring it up. Now you're going to bridge up and put that ball underneath your tailbone, right? So not your low back. Therefore, when you come up, your tabletop will be a little bit here. So I still have that 90-degree angle. I'm not pulling my knees in. It's just that because my hips are tipped up, my 90 is here, hopefully. And that should create a wobbly surface. So first option is to simply lift your hands and see or feel that wobbliness. And then with your ribs pulled in, you'll try moving one leg away from your body. You don't want to go all the way to a toe touch or a heel tap, because that would bring you into spinal extension. You can do this with double legs, toes pointed. You can do it with double legs, heels flexed. You can certainly go into that wider stance. Every time we do these balls, I say, I got to get a new one of these. All right, and then take a break when you're ready. Let's take a little rock side to side. And then we're going to put the ball down where our feet used to be and put both feet on the ball for a bridge. Now, we'll have the tendency to have those knees gap open. So I want you to go a little wider with your feet and a little more narrow with your knees. So almost as if you're knock-kneed. And then, so you might be a little pigeon-toed, press up and keep the knees together. So you should already feel those hamstrings engaged, especially with those knees together. Option to simply lift the hands and see how that is for those hammies and those glutes. Option to put the hands back down and push the hips up, keep the knees together, pushing up, pushing up. Option to do that with your hands hovering, keep those knees together so you really feel those hammies. Good, couple more here, and gently down. We'll take a quick little break, and then we'll slide that ball underneath your left foot. So right foot is on the ground, and we'll lift up into a bridge. First option is to work the hamstrings by rolling that ball in and out. Second option, do that same thing, but with your hands up, of course. Third option, put your foot back, or excuse me, your hands back down, but bring that right leg up in the air somehow. And then you have lots of options. You could lift and lower, or you could roll forward and back, or you could lift, lower, roll. You find your best combination of things, right? Whatever you need to work the most. And then gently come down. I promise we'll stretch that left hammy in a moment. Ball comes under your right foot. So again, option one is to lift into your bridge, roll forward and back, lift into your bridge, no hands, or get a little more challenging by lifting that left leg up in the air. And again, you can lift and lower, you can roll in and out, you can lift, lower, roll in, out. You can do some of that without your hands if you want to try. And when you're ready, come down and grab that ball behind your left leg, let your right leg flop open, and you're in an L shape, right? So I'm kind of over on my right hip. Grab that ball to bring that left knee in, please. And now we're going to open that L towards the sky by lifting that left leg over to the left. Use the ball to keep the hamstring pulling in towards the shoulder, and then flex through the left heel, and then eventually straighten the leg, flex and point, maybe a little rotation, and then bring it in and back through center, left foot on the ground. Ball behind that right knee, hug it in, L shape as the ball or the right leg comes over your right hip, left leg all the way to the left, and then tip that L towards the sky. Use your fingers to pull that ball nice and close. Keep the hamstring close, but flex through that right heel. And then eventually straighten that leg, flex and point. Maybe some rotations, and then bring that in. All right. So let's roll about halfway up. Put that ball at your low back. So earlier, for the roll down, we had it at the sacrum. Now you're going to put it at your low back. And go ahead and lean up and over it. I know that your ribs might pop up a little bit. That's okay. You're going to come up onto your tippy toes, and you're going to close the ribs at the same time that you lift into tabletop. So now you should feel supported on this angle. You're going to see if this is good enough, you're going to stay there. A little more, arms go to the side. A little more, they go over your head. A little more, those legs extend. We're in a supported teaser. We're going to exhale, bring everything together, take a little break. We're going to inhale, pop open, or just extend your legs, or just extend your arms. Exhale, squeeze, inhale. So it's also very similar to double leg stretch. So if this bothers your back from this position, you could go into double leg stretch. Just two more here. Last one, just hold it, make it as beautiful as you can, and then bend your knees and put your feet on the ground and just slouch over the ball. That's fine. And then bring yourself up on your elbows, shoulders out of your ears, sink those ribs and abs together, lift those legs tabletop, and then bring your arms to the side for support. You're going to rotate those knees side to side. If you want to, you can kick them when you get to the side for can. Or you could keep both legs straight and create a pendulum movement, right? Keep that going for me, please. And then come back to center, take a quick break. Okay, so you have a couple options already, and now we're going to add on. So we're going to bring those legs tabletop. Our arms are not coming to the ground this time. So they're up here, fingers off the ground, and we're going to try that little side to side again, but you don't get to sway in the wind with your hands. No swaying. Hands stay out, hands stay out. Adding on, you could kick, woohoo, kick, or you could try your pendulum, longer lever, a little more challenge to that balance. So you find whichever, sorry, I have cat fur all over me. Find whichever one of those is working for you. And if none of them work for you, take a break. All right. And then we're going to roll that ball even farther up our spine. So now it's between the shoulder blades. Take your fingers, bring them to the edges of your skull, let your elbows open to the ground, and let your head rest in your fingertips with your chin nodded yes, right? So I'm not tipping my chin up towards the sky. I'm supporting it right now. with my fingers. Then on the exhale, lift your elbows. Hold there, and then finally, these ribs are up and over the ball. I just want you to close your ribs, which is just gonna lift that torso. It's the torso is moving in a nice plank straight line. And then you're gonna inhale, let the elbows drop to the ground, and maybe you let your body arch over that ball if you don't get vertigo or have tension in your cervical vertebra. Keep your chin nodded, yes. Exhale, close down. So you inhale up and over, elbows wide. You should get a nice stretch across your chest. Exhale to close. Make sure that your chin isn't lifting up and then closing down, right? So you want to keep that chin pulled in that nodded yes position the whole time. If you want a little more challenge, you're gonna bring your arms, wrap them around behind your head, crisscross at the wrist. So now your arms are that longer lever and they're cradling your head. But as always, make sure that your chin is staying there and that your head is coming up with the arms, right? So you're not lifting your arms and then lifting your head. If you want to add a little challenge, you lift one leg up as you come up, but just because you do that, don't forget the up and over part. And finally, you can balance here, right? Knees in tabletop to add quite a bit of challenge. And if you really wanted to, you could tabletop it and then extend a leg when you come up. All of that is a lot, so you make your best choices here. Then pull that ball out from under you and come around and just hug that ball against your chest and your thighs against the other side. And just try and pop the ball by squeezing those knees in, take a little break side to side. All right, so both feet on the ground, ball in your right hand on the ground, or right hand on the ball on the ground. Deep breath in, you're gonna press into that ball to lift the right side of your body, and then lift the left arm, lift, as far as you can go. Maybe you can come all the way up, and if that's the case, give me a little rotation and twist, and then back down again. So if need be, so here we go again, press into the ball, pause halfway, and that's fine. You could give it a little twist and then come down, or you press into the ball, you lift all the way up, you rotate, and then you twist by rolling that ball. So a couple options there. We're not going to do a ton of these. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, twist, and reach. So modify as need be to just doing this part of the way up. You're still going to get that same work. And then last one, twist it up and then back down. And now that ball comes underneath your left hand, which is off to the left. So this is a little bit like the crisscross exercise. I just modified it without the legs. We can see if we can add those. Deep breath in, exhale, press into the ball to lift up, and then see if you can roll all the way up. If not, no worries. If you can, then you rotate and twist that ball, or by pulling on that ball. So you exhale. If this is as far as you come up, that's fine. Then just twist from here, right? Or come all the way up, twist, and roll the ball in. One more time. Beautiful. We're going to come down. We're going to drop that ball over to the right. We're going to lift our knees into tabletop, and we're going to let the legs land on the ball. Little baby twist here. Take your left arm as far to the left as you can. Give it a cactus arm and let the back of the hand land on the ground. Nod your head yes, maybe twist to the left with your head. All right, roll your head back to center, bring your hands down, lift your left leg, put it on the ground, grab the ball, lift your right leg, foot on the ground. Bring the ball to the left side, stack your knees tabletop and let the knees land to the left with support. Feet can be on the ground, right? Left hand I'm using on my right hand, and then open that right arm into your cactus and turn to the right if you want with your head. Roll your head back through center, lift your right leg up, press down with your right hand, lift that left leg back up to center, and we're going to bring that ball behind the knees. And now we're going to draw some big circles on the ceiling with both knees. And then rotate the other way, please. And then leave the ball behind the right leg and put the left foot on the ground. And give that right knee a big hug in. Bring it slightly outside of your ribs, and then bring it onto your ribs and squeeze it in. And then outside, and then in. And then find the ball and pull the ball so that your thigh ends up on your rib cage. Flex through the left heel and straighten out the left leg and really push that leg down towards the ground. And then pull that right knee a little closer, flex through the right heel, push it towards the sky. Flip the ball if you need to keep that rib and thigh connected. And then finally straighten out that leg, flex, point, pull yourself up, roll the ball a little higher, stay lifted, flex through the heel. Should be a pretty intense stretch, then see if you can roll down with it. Woo, ouch, mommy. And then bend that right knee, use the ball behind that leg, bring that ball over to the left slightly, get that nice outer hip stretch. And then option to roll the ball up as you turn your toe out. You're gonna put that ball over to the left, and you can bend the knee and land on the ball, or for a deeper stretch, move the ball out of the way. As you come back through center, flip your right ankle across your left thigh, so you've got that thread the needle. Bend both knees, reach around, put the ball behind the left thigh, hug it in, nice figure four stretch. Let's take a couple of rocks side to side. You might even use your right elbow to push that right knee open a little more. Now leave the legs exactly how they are. Put the left foot on the ground, lift your hips, move them slightly to the right, and land with your right foot on the ground and the outside of your left thigh. Depending on how this feels on your right outer hip, you can pull the leg more across or press it open. And then as we come back through center, I'm going to lift the left knee up and tuck it behind the right knee so that I've got that stacked knee position, a little rock, and then arms into a T, and we drop left. Nice deeper twist here. And then uncross the legs, right foot comes back, left leg follows. And again, we're going to hug that left knee in, open it to the left, bring it right over, open to the left, and bring it right over. Straighten the right leg out, flex through the heel, try and get the back of the knee closer to the ground. Use the ball to bring that left leg as close as possible, then flex through the heel, lift it towards the sky. And maybe you can flip the ball so you're pushing down and against the calf, and then straighten that leg and flex. You're going to point and lift yourself up, and then you're going to flex and lift yourself higher, holding here, pretty deep stretch, but if you want, you could pull it in and go even deeper. Then bend that knee, and that leg comes across towards the right shoulder. You can straighten the leg and use the ball to push down. You could use the ball over here as you go into a twist, or no ball at all. As you float back through center, cross that left ankle over the right thigh, bend the knee, thread your needle, and then you can use that left elbow to push that left knee open for a deeper hip stretch. Good, put the right foot on the ground, lift your hips up and scoot them slightly left. Drop so the left foot and the right outer thigh go on the ground. And then again, you might push open or you might pull across, depending on how that feels. And then finally, crisscross completely. And we'll take that little rock. Sorry, I forgot to rock in the figure 4. And then arms into a T and knees drop right. Nice deep twist here. And then come on back through center. We're going to roll over onto our hands and knees, however you need to get there. If you wanted to, you could put that ball between your thighs just to have it there. Arms out in front of you. We're going to inhale forward and exhale back, rounding through a cow and rolling through a cat. Good. Find yourself in that cow position. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, hover, and then press back, down dog. Feel free to pedal out your knees. If the ball is bugging you, you can move it. And then give me a wider stance. Grab the ball with your hands. Roll into your cat. Inhale into your cow. Hands out in front of you. Lift it up. Nice job, you guys. Thank you all for being here.